You're about to spend money on a pistol this year, and there's a good chance you're trusting the wrong one. Most people don't catch it until it's too late. You walk into a shop, pick something that feels solid, run a couple of clean mags, and convince yourself it's reliable. Then you carry it like it's proven. That's the mistake. Because the first time things get messy, rush draw, weak grip, cheap ammo, that's when some of these guns fall apart. Not online, not in reviews, right when it actually matters. And here's the part nobody tells you. Some of the most recommended pistols right now start showing cracks. The moment the testing stops being comfortable, most of them didn't earn a spot here. This is what's left after the weak ones got exposed. The most reliable pistols actually worth buying in 2026. And one of the ones people trust the most didn't even last. I grabbed the CZ P10C that day because I didn't feel like babysitting a gun. It was the safe, low-drama choice, the one you throw in the bag when you're not in the mood to earn every round. It was late afternoon at the outdoor range. Wind was kicking up dust, the light was going flat, and other shooters kept starting up in nearby bays. I was running concealment draws on the timer with failure to stop drills. Nothing fancy, just repetition. But between the wind, the noise, and the fading light, it was easy to get sloppy without noticing. I slammed a fresh mag in, came back up, and felt that half-second hitch. Did it seat? The doubt hit hard. In those conditions, with the timer running and shots cracking nearby, the hesitation felt bigger than it should have. My heart rate jumped. I stopped mid-drill and checked the gun like I suddenly didn't trust my own hands. Dust, weak grip, rushed reloads. None of it turned into a gun problem. The CZ didn't fail. The only problem was me getting careless because the pistol had been boring for too long. Once I started seating mags properly again, the P10C went right back to being boring. But I didn't love how close that moment felt. Because if that hesitation had happened when it actually mattered, who would I have blamed? The PX4 was sitting in my truck's glove box, buried under old receipts and a half-dead flashlight. I hadn't touched it in weeks. Honestly, I barely remembered it was in there. Didn't look like something I'd rely on. Chunky slide, weird shape. That rotating barrel thing I never fully trusted. Felt like a leftover design the market already moved past. That morning wasn't planned. Quick stop, in and out, nothing serious. I didn't bring anything else, just reached in, grabbed the PX4 and went. No warm-up, no checking it over, no let's see how it runs today. Just picked it up cold, and that's where it got annoying, because it didn't hesitate. No stiffness, no weird recoil, nothing awkward, just smooth. Softer than it had any right to be. Like it didn't care that it had been sitting there, ignored, collecting dust. I ran what I had through it later. Random mix. Nothing special. Same result. Steady, predictable, boring in a way I didn't expect from something that looks like this. I still don't like how it feels in the hand. Still think it's bulkier than it needs to be. And nobody's lining up to recommend it, but every time I give it a chance to fail, it doesn't. And the one that came after this, completely different kind of problem. A guy glanced at my bag and smirked. Didn't say anything, didn't have to. Small Saturday class, right after the New Year rush. New guns everywhere. Polished slides, red dots, money sitting on every table. You could tell who just bought confidence. I hadn't even unzipped my bag yet, and I already knew the look I was getting. When the Canik Mete SFT hit the table, it got quiet. No comments, no nods, just that quick glance people give when they've already made up their mind. Like, I brought the budget answer to a test that already had a right one. And it stayed that way for a while. Then things started shifting. Not loud, not dramatic, just little cracks. One guy blaming ammo, another messing with his setup, someone else swapping mags like it was the fix. The noise kept building around them. The Canik didn't join in. Every time I picked it up, it just worked. Same feel, same rhythm, no excuses needed, no adjustments, just there. That's when it flipped. Worth buying. Stopped sounding like price or brand. It started meaning something simpler, no second guessing after you've already paid. Now, it's not perfect. A bit harder to hide, and let's be real. Some people will never respect that name, no matter what it does. But that part never really changed. What changed was everything around it. And I still remember how quiet it got by the end. I'll be honest, newer pistols usually make me cautious. 2 pistols on the table. My hand went straight to the older one, the one I already trusted. No thinking, just habit. Then I stopped. Shifted over, grabbed the Springfield Echelon 4.0C instead, and didn't even give myself time to question it. I was already moving. I had 5 minutes, a door already closing behind me, and no time to talk myself into the safer choice. No range, no warm-up, no let me run a mag first. Whatever that choice was, it was locked the second it left the table. And I felt it right away. That hesitation. New gun. No history. Nothing behind it yet. Just a design I hadn't fully made up my mind about. The other one, I knew exactly what it would do. This one, I didn't. It didn't matter. Everything settled fast. Grip felt right. Recoil stayed flat. Controls didn't fight me. Nothing weird, nothing delayed. It just kept doing what it was supposed to do without asking for attention. The moment passed clean. No issue, no correction. No reminder that I picked the riskier option, but that part didn't disappear. It worked. That's true. Now, I just watch it more closely because it worked when I needed it to. But that's not the same as trusting it next month. And what came after this didn't give that kind of choice at all. Late February, I was in Austin. The shop was busy enough to feel rushed without anyone actually saying it. I already had the smaller pistol on the counter. One of those easy choices. Disappears under a shirt. Feels right in your hand before you even pay for it. The guy behind the glass looked at it, nodded once, and said, "That one's comfortable. That should have been it." I almost went through with it. Something held me there a second longer. Reached over, picked up the SIG P365 X-Macro Tacops instead. Didn't overthink it, just didn't want to walk out wondering later. Didn't feel like the smarter pick. Felt like the heavier one. That afternoon, it stayed on me through everything. Truck seat digging into my side. Gas station stop. Grocery aisle. Jacket on, jacket off. Reaching, bending, shifting around like a normal day. It never disappeared. Grip reminded me it was there. Weight stayed noticeable, not uncomfortable, just present, like it refused to let me forget what I chose. And that's where it got weird. Nothing happened, no moment, no reason to justify it, and that was the point. No weird feeding issue, no mag drama, no control problem, no little reminder that capacity came with a catch. It just stayed ready and stayed boring, but I never caught myself wishing for the smaller gun either. Later on, I thought back to that counter. How close it was. Comfort would have been easier. I'm not sure it would have felt the same by the end of the day. Someone was already cussing when I walked in. Not loud, just under his breath. Messing with something that should have been simple. Another guy had his stuff laid out, taking it apart like he was trying to find an answer in it. Nobody looked relaxed. It was that kind of morning. Nothing big going wrong, just constant little breaks. You could feel it. Something always needing attention. Something not quite right. I didn't say much, just stepped in, got moving, stayed in my lane. It took a few minutes before I noticed it. Not what I was doing, what I wasn't. No stopping. No checking. No adjusting anything. I wasn't fixing problems because there weren't any showing up in the first place. Around me, it kept happening. Small pauses, frustration, little resets that kill momentum. I just didn't join that. At one point, a guy looked over, half distracted, and goes, "Oh, you good?" Didn't even answer, just kept going. That was enough. Nobody asked what I was running. Nobody leaned in to look. No comments. No curiosity. I just moved on like it didn't matter. And that's the part that sticks. It never became a topic. Not exciting, not impressive, nothing to talk about, just not something you worry about once it's yours. And right after that, the last one didn't blend in at all. The Glock 19. Gen 5 isn't impressive. That's exactly why it keeps winning. You're not picking between good guns anymore. You're picking between what feels better now and what you won't question later. I've run the newer stuff. Better triggers, cleaner brakes, more features packed into smaller frames. On day one, a lot of them felt like upgrades. Then time showed up. A few thousand rounds in, little things start creeping in, not failures. Just enough friction. Something feels off. Something needs attention. You catch yourself checking it more than you should. That's the part nobody talks about. It's the Glock 19. Gen 5 never entered that cycle. Same gun, same setup, years of it. Heat, cold, sweat. Getting knocked around in a truck. Sitting longer than it should, then right back into use without a second thought. No tuning, no chasing parts. No surprises waiting for you later. It doesn't stand out. It never did. That's the whole point. Some guns impress you early. This one just removes things over time. Less to think about, less to manage, less that can turn into a question later. That's where it changes. I don't pick based on feel anymore. I don't care what looks better on paper. If it adds variables, I'm already out. Because after everything else on this list, this is the one people end up back on. Not because they want to, because they stopped looking for something better. So now you've seen what actually held up and what didn't. This wasn't about favorites or hype. Every pistol here stayed because something else failed out when it mattered. That's the part most people ignore. They buy what feels right, not what's been pushed hard enough to break. And here's what still sits wrong with me. None of these are guaranteed. The one at the top, it just hasn't failed yet. That's it. So before you spend your money this year, ask yourself, are you buying something proven or something you're hoping holds up? Tell me what you trusted right up until it didn't. I'm Steve. I'm still waiting to see which one slips next.